In the past couple of years, I've analyzed over 460 different B2B SaaS ad campaigns, and in this video, what I'm gonna do is show you what has worked best. The first thing, starting with, is gonna be targeting the top 5% of in-market buyers. So I can't count the number of times we've been able to completely transform campaign performance with a founder after simply changing who they are targeting with their ads. The best practice isn't trying to speak to the entire 100% of your market. Instead, you wanna refine your messaging and ads such way that they speak towards the top 5% of in-market buyers, those who already know they have this problem and are actively looking for a solution, because with them you're not going to be spending months and months convincing them to buy. Unless you are at a couple grand in daily ad spend, you don't have leverage to move people from not caring about the problem at all into converting them within a 7-day cycle. And sometimes I hear from different founders that they are okay with sometimes going for this longer sales cycles. However, if you really want to hit this scaling velocity, it's really important for you how quick is your window of converting someone from cold lead into a buyer. And that's why it really matters that you are going to be speaking to those people who already don't need any convincing that they have a problem and they need a solution. And this is one of the most effective levers we pull. So one of the biggest levers to actually get couple grand a day in profitable spend is actually selling to problem-aware, high-intent buyers, as I'm speaking here. Then the second one is going to be about creative diversity. So the campaigns which have the wildest and widest creative diversity tend to perform better than the ones which don't. This means that instead of having just couple images which look sort of same and talk about the same angle and a couple videos which are nearly identical and using the same format, you want to be running dozens of variations which are all very different from one another. So you can vary these following elements: the pain point angle, then the social proof angle, and the question angle. These are the fundamental ones. You can use the different designs in your ads, and you can use the different copy formats as well. This way, even if some variations don't perform, it's quite a low chance that none are going to be able to perform out of 15 or 20, because your creative diversity allows you to just test more and have more chances of finding winners. If done right, there's still going to be multiple winners you can then double down on after 2 or 3 weeks of running campaigns. And look, not enough creative diversity is just one out of other 21 common ad mistakes I'm seeing B2B SaaS founders make. And I made a document which is called the 21 most common meta ad mistakes in B2B SaaS, which you can go to saascamp.com/21 to download it there. Because after working with hundreds of founders and seeing where they wasted the most ad spend before we started working, I made this document so you can at least not repeat those. The number 3 is going to be testing with instant forms while building long form funnels. So what I like to do is with clients is running quick instant form tests before investing more time building out the main funnel. Many times I've seen when a B2B SaaS founder who never ran ads before would be getting stuck and try to go for some sophisticated multi-level step funnel when just they're starting out. This would lead to the following: they get frustrated, they spend couple months focusing on the wrong things, they basically invest too much energy into things which don't matter yet, and this results them in collecting this feedback in 2 to 3 months rather than within a week or 2. And oftentimes after collecting market feedback, as you may understand, you need to relearn and readjust a lot of things, because now you showed your stuff to the actual prospects, and now you need to redo your landing page, you need to redo your videos, and many other assets. And I don't really like the approach when you invest a lot of effort to get something to work, knowing that just after a couple of weeks you need to redo it all anyway. And this is why I believe that testing with instant forms is basically underrated. So why testing with instant forms is powerful. This allows to launch campaign within couple hours and start collecting market feedback from conversations, also giving an idea which angles we should cover more in our VSL and landing page. I've already helped 14 B2B SaaS startups hit 100K MRR inside my advisory program called SaaS Camp. So a third of them actually got there just by using the instant form funnel, which can be set up within a couple days if you know what you're doing. And on that, you can go to saascamp.com and apply to be next. Number 4 is going to be letting it spend. This is the absolute best practice with meta ads of all time, because you can't count the number of times when I would see the founder even like running quite low ad budgets and be like trying to change couple things every single day just to enhance and help it start working better. Look, if you're touching the stuff every single day, guess what happens? It never learns how to deliver results for you, and the algorithm doesn't learn this way. And that's how you're only ruining the performance there. And in this module, I'll just cover, okay, when you do and when you do not want to touch your campaigns there. So it's always better to spend a little bit more than too little. You won't get significant campaign results if you keep switching things on and off every day, not allowing Meta to learn properly. And usually founders who never ran ads before have a tendency to kill ads which had potential too early. Here are some estimates to give you an idea how much you shall spend before you judge campaign ROAS. So number 1 is going to be 2x of the first month's deal profit if you're selling something between 1K and 5K a month software subscription, and it's going to be 5x target cost per qualified call if you are selling something between 150 and 1K a month. Let's call it the mid-ticket type solutions. After you spend this much money on your campaign, whether you're working on one type of product or another, and it's already been running for a few days, usually you want to split out your budgets accordingly so that you are going to be approaching this milestone after about 5 to 7 days of ad spend. Then you can basically make decisions on, okay, these angles are performing better, worse, etc., and moving from there. Number 5, focusing on the right things. Of course, it's always been one of the best practices. Too many founders I've seen would be spending hours and hours refining their ad copy headline or spending days on all the versions of the primary text. Same goes for trying to apply all possible automations and advanced backend tracking even before passing the validation stage. Ask me how I know this, because I've made the absolute same mistake of trying to worry too much about, okay, are all of my 5 zaps connected to my CRM, and are the third degree follow-up sequences being sent before the second call, and other bullshit like this. Look, if you are still not at least spending, as I mentioned here, $300 to $500 in daily ad spend, these are not the things you need to be worrying about. And if your campaigns aren't converting without you having all your second step follow-ups dialed in, then spoiler alert, even after you add all of this in, you'll be still struggling with profitability. And after working with so many campaigns and so many startups in all niches imaginable, I tell you that if something is working, it's usually working without having everything perfect. Because there were situations when I would see a founder spend like months and months trying to iterate on all this, like zaps, automations, 10 copy variations, and like so much mess. And at the same time, I would see another founder who just within a week would test the 3 things on the primary text side, which makes sense, couple decent headlines, couple decent ads, and see some results like turning $1 into 2 or $1 into 3. And while the first founder would be stuck like fighting for like getting from 1x to 1.3x profitability for nearly half a year, the second one would just be like, okay, this one turned $1 into half a dollar, we just killed this one, and this one turned $1 into 3. Let us now start working on the next one. Because if you only start investing time into all this features and nice to haves once it's working and once it's converting, then it does make a lot of sense to do that. For that reason, you want to only care about things vital at your stage and at your daily ad spend. Now, number 6 is you want to consider your ad budget when planning A/B tests. And I would say that, again, from all the stuff I've seen, the campaigns which worked best were the ones where the founder could clearly correlate, okay, comparing, like considering the amount of money we're spending, this does make sense to test this and this stuff. And sometimes, let's say, when I would meet founder who is like spending, let me just comment on this. Denis, we're about to test out 3 ICPs. For each of them, we want to do 2 different offers, 15 to 20 ads, and multiple targeting options. Plus, we currently have 3 funnels in our mind, which we want to compare. Our pricing is between $500 and $1K a month, monthly subscription. Cool, and what ad spend are we putting into each ICP then? I asked them. Well, we were thinking $50 a day or so. Come on. It's not that you can't get any results with $50 or $150 daily in ad spend. We absolutely did. But working with such budgets requires you to be laser sharp regarding the A/B tests you're running, so you're only finding the answer to the most relevant thing at that point of time. The key principles would be the following. I wouldn't test more than 1 or 2 things at once. Then keep it to 1 A/B test per campaign, period. Multi-level testing is more reasonable at $300 to $700 a day in ad spend. If you're in this range comfortably, then you can allow yourself to basically be testing couple campaigns, different ICPs, and let's say different targeting options. If you are right now at $100 to $200 a day, I mean, unfortunately, you do not have such leverage yet, and that's why you want to be cautious. What specifically are you testing and when, in which order? And the less budget means that you need to go with gut feeling on more things and placing more bets based on that. And yeah. Another note on this would be that if right now you are in this range of spending between, let's say, $150 to $500 in daily ad spend, I would say that one of the first things you want to dial in before you consider other A/B tests would be your ICP, because I would say that depending on who you decide you're going to be selling towards for the next, let's say, couple years, this then from there you reverse engineer what is your funnel looking like, because for different types of prospects there are different funnels we use. It's, let's say, for targeting companies which are doing 5 to 30 mil a year, it's a different one than I would use for targeting companies which are doing 6 figures to low 7 figures a year because of the volume of leads we're expecting, etc. So you want to dial in your ICP first. After you know your ICP, you can then switch on towards the other A/B tests. Now, on this note, appreciate you watching this video. This would be the 6 things which worked best across the 460 campaigns I worked on, and see you in the next one.